knows all. Allah is the wali of those who believe, meaning He is the protector of those who believe. And what does He do? He brings them out of the depth of darkness and He leads them into the light. As for the unbelievers, their wali, their protector is Taghut. They take them out of the light and lead them into the depths of darkness. As a result, they will become the companions of the hellfire and shall live therein forever. By contrast, those who turn to Taghut and believe in Taghut instead of Allah. Now, if in life you don't turn to God, you don't turn to Allah at the time when you need a firm handhold, then where do people turn? They need something. So they turn to other gods, they turn to other people, they turn to something or someone that's going to give them some support. And it's a fact that if you look around, you will see that everyone needs to believe in something greater than themselves. There has to be something greater than themselves that they can turn to. So when situations arise, they have somewhere to turn to for an answer. When life becomes difficult, they have something to turn to. That they need to believe in something greater. If it is not Allah, then people will turn to other deities, other gods, other ideologies. But behind all of those is shaitan, because there is only one true way, and that is the way that Allah has brought. And when they turn to these other deities, it leads to shirk. It leads to associating others with Allah. And this is what Allah means when He says, they lead them out of the light and into the depths of darkness. Meaning the darkness of shirk, away from Allah. Have you ever reflected upon the one who, because Allah had given him a kingdom, argued with Ibrahim about his Rabb? Now Allah is going to describe 3 different incidents, 3 different stories, you can say, of what happens when people hold firmly to Allah and what happens when people don't. In the first example is that of Ibrahim a.s. and a king who was around at his time known as Namrud. Allah says, have you reflected? When Ibrahim said, my Rabb is He who has power to give life and to cause death. He replied, meaning Namrud replied, I too have the power to give life and to cause death. Ibrahim said, well, Allah causes the sun to rise from the east, just to make it rise from the west. Thus, the unbeliever was confounded. Allah does not guide the wrongdoers. So when confronted with Ibrahim a.s., the king said, I can cause life and death. And it is said that he brought somebody from the kingdom, killed him in front of Ibrahim a.s. and said, look, I'm caused a death to happen. So Ibrahim a.s. responded, make the sun rise from the west then. Who gave him the inspiration to say this? Allah gave him the inspiration to say this. So this is the help of Allah with whom He helps those who believe in Him. Another example. Or take another example of the one who passed by a town which had fallen down upon its roots. He exclaimed, how can Allah bring this dead township back to life? Thereupon Allah caused him to die, and after 100 years brought him back to life. Allah asked, how long did you remain here? He replied, perhaps a day or part of a day. Allah said, nay, you have remained here for 100 years. Now just have a look at your food and drink. They are not rotten. And then look at your donkey and see that its very bones have decayed. We have done this to make you a sign for mankind. Look at the bones of your donkey, how we bring them together, then clothe them with flesh and bring it back to life. When this all was shown clearly to him, he said, أَعْلَمُ أَنَّ اللَّهَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. Now I know that Allah has power over everything. The second example, it is said that this is Uzair alayhi salam, a prophet, but this is not clear. Allah knows best whether this is the person who's being referred to. But someone at some point in history questioned that how is it possible that this township will be brought back to life by Allah? Meaning, how will everyone and the people be brought to life and questioned on the Day of Judgment? And Allah showed him how. Was his response, when he was given evidence, was his response to deny? No, he accepted. So when shown the evidence, he accepted that and he was thus guided.